Stop what you are doing right now. Not because something is wrong. Not because danger is near. But because what is about to be said to you, what has been waiting to be said to you, has been held back for a reason. And that reason is you. More specifically, the version of you that exists in this exact moment, sitting exactly where you are, carrying exactly what you have been carrying. Because the universe does not deliver its most sacred messages to just anyone at just any time. It waits. It prepares. It watches until the soul on the receiving end has been shaped, stretched, tested, and tempered into something capable of truly receiving what is being sent. You, Gemini, have reached that moment. And if some part of you felt a pull to click on this video, if something in your chest recognized these words before your mind had time to analyze them, that was not coincidence. That was the signal. That was the universe tapping you on the shoulder and whispering, "Now. It is time. You are ready." But ready for what? That is the question that has been living in you, isn't it? That quiet, persistent question that follows you from morning to midnight. What is all of this building toward? What is the point of everything you have been through? Why does it feel like you are standing at the edge of something enormous but cannot quite see what lies on the other side? Stay with these words. Stay open. Because everything you have been asking, every silent prayer, every whispered wish, every tearful night when you wondered if the universe even heard you, it heard all of it. Every single word. And what is about to unfold across the next few minutes is its answer. Let us begin where the truth always begins, with what has actually been happening to you. Not the version you post about. Not the version you tell people when they ask how you are doing and you smile and say, "Good, just busy." The real version. The one that lives behind your eyes at 3 in the morning when the noise of the day falls away and you are left alone with yourself and you cannot escape the feeling that something is not quite right, or not quite finished, or not quite where it is supposed to be. You are a Gemini. And if there is one thing the world has consistently misunderstood about you, it is this: your complexity is not a flaw. Your duality is not a disorder. The fact that you can hold two completely opposite emotions in your body at the exact same time, joy and grief, excitement and terror, certainty and doubt, does not mean something is broken inside you. It means something extraordinary lives inside you. It means you were built to experience this world on a frequency that most people cannot even perceive. But here is what nobody tells you about being built that way. It is exhausting. Because when you feel things, you feel them everywhere. When something hurts, it does not just hurt in your heart. It echoes through your mind, your body, your spirit, your sense of self. And when something is uncertain, when life leaves you in that agonizing in-between space where you can see clearly what was and you can almost see what might be, but the pathway between the two is completely obscured, you do not just feel confused. You feel fractured. Like two halves of yourself are pulling in different directions and you do not know which one to follow. You have been in that space, haven't you? Maybe for weeks. Maybe for months. Maybe for longer than you want to admit even to yourself. And during that time, things happened that you did not plan for. Doors that you were certain were meant for you closed in ways that felt inexplicable. Relationships that you had invested yourself in shifted, cooled, or fell away entirely. Opportunities that seemed so close you could almost touch them simply evaporated. And you were left standing there, asking the same question over and over: why? Why is this happening? What did I do wrong? What am I missing? You need to hear this clearly. You did not do anything wrong. The delays you experienced were not punishments. The closed doors were not rejections. The confusion, the stalling, the feeling of running in place while the rest of the world seemed to be moving, none of it was the universe turning its back on you. All of it was the universe doing something far more deliberate, far more precise, far more intentional than you had the perspective to see while you were inside it. Think about what happens when a master craftsperson is creating something of extraordinary value. They do not rush. They do not cut corners. They take the raw material, however beautiful it already is in its natural state, and they work it. They heat it and cool it. They press it and shape it. They remove what does not belong and refine what does. And during that process, if the raw material could feel, it would feel exactly what you have been feeling. Pressure. Heat. Uncertainty. The sensation of being transformed without fully understanding into what. You have been in the hands of something that is shaping you into a version of yourself that you cannot yet fully imagine. A version that is wiser than the one who walked into this period of your life. A version that is stronger than the one who believed that everything had to make sense in order to keep moving. A version that is more deeply rooted in who you actually are rather than who you thought you had to be worthy of good things. And here is the part that might surprise you. The things that felt like your greatest setbacks during this time were actually your most important appointments. Every relationship that ended or transformed was clearing space, not just physically, not just emotionally, but energetically, for something that is aligned with the you who is emerging, not the you who you were when you entered it. Every plan that collapsed was a blueprint that belonged to a version of your future that has now been upgraded. And every moment you spend in the quiet, in the confusion, in the sacred frustration of not knowing, that was not wasted time. That was deep time. That was the kind of time that changes you at the cellular level, at the soul level, in ways that cannot be rushed or shortcut or replicated by simply having things go smoothly. You needed all of it. Every single moment. You needed to feel what it felt like to lose faith so that the faith you are building now would be yours. Truly, completely, unshakably yours. But now we need to talk about the lesson. The real one. The one hiding beneath all the surface-level lessons about patience and resilience and trusting the process, which are all real and all true, but are not the core of what this period of your life was designed to teach you. Gemini, somewhere along the way, and this may have started much earlier than the recent difficulty, it may have started in childhood, in a classroom, in a household, in a relationship that taught you the wrong things about your own value, you began to look outside of yourself for confirmation of your worth. You began seeking approval, seeking understanding, seeking someone to look at you and say, I see you. I choose you. You are enough. And because you are Gemini, because your mind is extraordinary and your curiosity is endless and your ability to adapt is remarkable, you got very, very good at reading the room. At sensing what people needed. At shifting, adjusting, presenting the version of yourself most likely to receive the love and the recognition and the belonging you were searching for. And it worked. Until it didn't. Because here is the cost of becoming an expert at being what others need you to be. At some point, you lose track of what you actually need. You lose track of what you actually want. You lose track of the thread that runs from the center of who you are all the way out through everything you do and create and build. And when you lose that thread, everything starts to feel hollow, even the things that look successful from the outside. Even the relationships where people tell you they love you. Even the achievements that should feel like proof that you matter. None of it fills the specific emptiness that forms when a person has been living for others' perception instead of their own truth. The universe watched this happening. And it made a decision. A loving, firm, sometimes uncomfortable decision. It decided to remove from your life everything that was feeding the version of you that sought external validation, because that version of you, however lovable, however capable, was not the full version. It was not the version that can carry what is coming. It was not the version that can receive what is being prepared. So it cleared the stage. It asked the players who were only there to watch you perform to exit. And it left you alone with the most important audience you will ever face. Yourself. This is what the silence was for. This is what the confusion was for. This is what the loneliness was for, not to punish you, not to diminish you, but to create the conditions in which you had no choice but to finally, turn inward and begin listening to the voice that has been trying to reach you for years. Have you started listening? Because everything about where you are right now suggests that you have. Or that you are right on the edge of beginning to. And that is exactly why this message is reaching you now. There is something the universe has been holding back from you. A message that has been circling you like a satellite waiting for the right moment to land. And the moment is now. Here it is, not all at once, because a truth this significant deserves to be received in layers, the way the dawn comes in layers, first just the faintest lightning at the horizon, then a blush of color, then the slow, undeniable arrival of full light. The first layer of what the universe needs you to know is this: you are not lost. You have never been lost. Even in your most disoriented moments, even when you could not see your own next step, you were not lost. You were between. There is a profound difference, and that difference is everything. Being lost means having no direction. Being between means you have finished one chapter and the next one has not yet fully begun. Being lost means the map is gone. Being between means you are in the uncharted territory that exists between the old map and the new one, which always feels like being lost until you are far enough into the new territory to begin recognizing its landmarks. You have been between. And the between is ending. The second layer is harder to hear, and the universe knows that. But love does not withhold hard truths. It delivers them gently, carefully, with all the tenderness that the moment requires. And the truth is this: some of the things you have been hoping will come back are not coming back. Not because they were not good. Not because you did not deserve them. But because they belong to a version of your life that has completed itself. And holding space for their return, keeping a door open in your heart for something that has already fulfilled its purpose in your story, is costing you the energy you need to walk through the new door that is opening. Let them go, Gemini. Not in bitterness. Not in grief. In gratitude. In deep, genuine recognition that those experiences, those people, those versions of your life gave you exactly what you needed at the time. And now something else is waiting to give you exactly what you need for the time that is coming. The third layer, and this one is the one the universe has been most eager to deliver, is a declaration. A statement of fact about who you are and what is true about your life right now, even if you cannot feel it yet, even if you cannot see the evidence of it yet. You are already in the beginning stages of a transformation that will change your life in ways you have not even allowed yourself to dream. Before you question that statement, before your mind rushes in with all the evidence to the contrary, all the ways things still look unresolved, all the ways the future still feels uncertain, stay here for just a moment longer. Because the nature of transformation is that it begins before you can see it. The most significant changes in a person's life almost always begin underground, in the dark, in the hidden spaces where roots grow before any green appears above the surface. And there are signs. There are always signs. And if you have been paying attention, if you have been that particular kind of awake that Gemini becomes when their intuition is being dialed up, you may have already begun noticing them. Have you been seeing the same numbers appearing in seemingly random places? Numbers like 1111, or 222, or 333, appearing on clocks, on receipts, on license plates, and the timestamps of messages that arrive at precisely the moment you needed something to arrive? These are not coincidences. The universe does not traffic in coincidences. What it does traffic in is patterns, and patterns are its primary language when words cannot reach us. When you see these numbers appearing with unusual frequency in your life, you are being told, "We see you, we are with you, you are on the right track even when the track feels uncertain." Have you been experiencing a kind of restlessness that feels different from ordinary anxiety? A restlessness that has an almost creative quality to it, an agitation that feels like it is pushing you towards something rather than away from something. That is the signal of incoming energy. That is the feeling of something approaching that has not yet arrived but is close enough that your body, which is far more perceptive than your conscious mind on most days, can already sense it. Have you been dreaming differently? More vividly, more symbolically, with a quality of significance that follows you into your waking hours and refuses to fully dissolve? Your dreaming mind is working on something. It is processing the transition you are in, coding it into images and experiences that your waking self can use. Pay attention to what visits you in sleep. The imagery matters. The feeling of the dream matters more than the specific details. What you feel in those dreams is information about what you need, what you are moving toward, what is being cleared away. Have you found yourself drawn to change things in your physical environment? Moving furniture, decluttering spaces, wanting to change how your home feels, how your mornings feel, how the beginning of your day is structured. This is not a coincidence of mood. This is your spirit instinctively preparing your physical space for the new energy that is coming. Your external world is a mirror of your internal world. When you feel compelled to transform one, it is because the other is already in the process of transforming. Have unexpected people appeared in your life recently? Perhaps old connections have resurfaced in surprising ways, or new people have arrived who seem to understand things about you that you have not even said aloud. Pay attention to these arrivals. Some of them are not just people. Some of them are messages, wearing human faces and speaking in human voices, carrying specific wisdom or specific energy that you are going to need. And perhaps most significantly, have you had moments, however brief, however tentative, where something in you simply knew? Not thought, not hoped, not reasoned out, knew. Where the certainty arrived not from your mind but from somewhere deeper and quieter and more ancient than your mind? Those moments are your intuition breaking through the noise of your doubt. And your intuition, Gemini, is extraordinary. It always has been. The tragedy is not that it is unreliable, it is that you have not fully learned to trust it yet. But that is changing. That is part of what is shifting. Let us talk about what is actually shifting, because it is time to be specific. It is time to name the direction of what is coming, not with false precision, not with promises no one can honestly make, but with the clarity of recognizing a pattern that has been building for a long time and is now reaching its expression point. Something in your professional life, in the realm of what you do with your skills, your time, your particular and extraordinary mind, is about to open in a way that has not been available to you before. This does not necessarily mean a dramatic, sudden event, though it might. More likely it is a shift in how you are seen, how you see yourself, and what becomes possible as a result. There is something that you have been building, sometimes consciously, sometimes without fully recognizing that you were building it, that is reaching a level of completion or recognition. An effort, a skill set, a body of work, a way of thinking that you have developed, is about to be valued in ways that begin to match what it is actually worth. Gemini, you have spent too long undercharging, energetically, financially, and in terms of the respect you accept in exchange for what you give. That is changing. Not as a reward for being patient. Not as a compensation for suffering. But as a natural consequence of you becoming clearer about your own value and therefore creating the conditions in which others can perceive it accurately. In the realm of your emotional life and your relationships, the shift is perhaps the most profound. You are entering a period in which the quality of connection available to you, the depth, the authenticity, the reciprocity, is rising. But it requires something from you first. It requires that you stop settling for relationships that ask you to perform rather than to be. It requires that you let down the carefully constructed presentation that you have learned to maintain with people and instead allow them to encounter the real you, the one who doubts and fears and dreams and aches and burns with curiosity and sometimes has absolutely no idea what comes next. The real you, Gemini, is more magnetic than any version you have ever performed. The real you is what people have been unconsciously waiting to meet. And the moment you allow yourself to be truly known rather than impressively seen, you will find that the relationships around you transform. Some will leave because they were only there for the performance. And new ones will arrive and deepen because they are drawn to the truth of who you are. In the realm of your inner life, your sense of self, your relationship with your own soul, the shift that is approaching is the most important of all. You are moving toward what can only be called a homecoming. A return to a deeper understanding of who you are beneath all the adaptations and adjustments and carefully cultivated personas. Beneath all of it, there is a Gemini who is ancient and knowing and extraordinarily gifted and deeply purposeful. And that Gemini has been waiting, patiently and sometimes not so patiently, to be acknowledged and inhabited and allowed to lead. That homecoming is close. You can feel it, can't you? In the moments when the noise falls away and something true rises up. In the moments when you catch yourself in a mirror and there is something in your eyes that looks like recognition, like the part of you that knows looking back at the part of you that is still learning to know. Now comes the part that requires your participation. Because the universe is not a vending machine. It does not deliver outcomes in exchange for simply waiting. It is a conversation, a collaboration, a dance between what is being offered and what you are willing to reach for, create space for, and step courageously into. So what does Gemini need to do right now? What action, and more importantly, what internal shift, is being called for? The first and most essential thing is to make peace with uncertainty. Not to eliminate it, because that is not possible and the desire to eliminate it is itself a kind of trap. But to change your relationship with it. To stop treating uncertainty as evidence that something is wrong and start treating it as evidence that something is in the process of becoming. Every significant thing in your life was uncertain before it arrived. Every relationship that mattered began with not knowing. Every achievement that meant something began with a step taken before the outcome was guaranteed. Uncertainty is not the enemy of your flourishing. It is the medium in which flourishing occurs. The second thing is to begin honoring your intuition as the trustworthy intelligence it is. You are a Gemini. Your mind is extraordinary. Your analytical capacity is genuine and valuable. But you have spent so much time privileging the rational, the logical, the explainable, that you have somewhat neglected the other intelligence that lives alongside it, the one that does not explain itself, the one that simply knows, the one that arrives not as a thought but as a felt sense, a resonance, a quiet but unmistakable certainty. That intelligence is trying to guide you right now. It has been trying to guide you. And the moments when you have overridden it, when you have talked yourself out of what you felt was true and replaced it with what seemed rational or safe or less risky, are the moments you likely regret most. Trust what you feel in your body when you imagine different futures. Trust the way certain people make your energy expand and others make it contract. Trust the nudges toward specific actions that arrive without clear logical justification. Not blindly, not without discernment, but with the dignity of someone who recognizes that they have access to a form of wisdom that deserves to be consulted. The third thing, and this may be the hardest, is to release the version of your future that you have been clinging to. Not your desire for a good future. Not your vision of health and love and purpose and joy. Those remain. But release the specific form that you decided those things had to take. Release the particular person it had to be with, the particular role it had to happen through, the particular timeline on which it was supposed to unfold. Because the universe is not going to deliver your life to you inside the box you designed. It is going to deliver it in a form that is better than what you planned, in ways you did not anticipate, through doors you did not know were doors because you were staring too hard at the ones that stayed closed. Open your hands, Gemini. Open your hands and let fall whatever you have been gripping too tightly. Not because it is not worth having, but because you cannot receive anything new with fists clenched around what used to be. The fourth thing is to take one deliberate step. Just one. Not the whole journey, not the mapped-out plan, just one step in the direction that calls to you most truthfully. It does not have to be a big step. In fact, it is usually the small steps that carry the most power, because they are honest and they are real and they accumulate into trajectories that the dramatic gestures can never sustain. What is one thing you have been putting off because it felt too uncertain, too vulnerable, too much like betting on yourself when you were not sure you deserved to win? Do that thing. Make that call. Write that first line. Send that message. Apply for that thing. Have that conversation. Step in the direction your soul has been gesturing toward and watch what the universe sends to meet you. Because it will. When you move, it moves. When you commit, it commits. The collaboration activates the moment you stop waiting to be certain and start acting in alignment with what you know is true. And now we have arrived at the place this whole journey was leading to. The center of it. The reason these words exist and the reason you are here receiving them. Gemini, you have been carrying something that most people in your life do not see. You have been carrying it for a long time, with more grace than you have been given credit for, and with more private struggle than anyone has fully witnessed. You have been carrying the weight of being someone who sees more, feels more, thinks more, processes more than the average experience of being human typically demands. You have been carrying the loneliness of being misunderstood, not because you are unknowable, but because most people do not know how to stay long enough and go deep enough to really know you. You have been carrying the exhaustion of being remarkable in a world that sometimes prefers its people to be simpler, quieter, more predictable. And in carrying all of that, you have sometimes believed that the weight itself was the message. That the difficulty was the destination. That you were meant to struggle and strive and strain and never quite arrive. That belief is wrong. And the universe needs you to know it is wrong. You are not a cautionary tale. You are not a testament to endurance without reward. You are not someone whose purpose is to serve as an example of how to keep going despite receiving so little. You are a person, a brilliant, complex, beautifully wired, sometimes infuriating, always fascinating person, who is genuinely, undeniably, cosmically due for arrival. Due for the experience of things lining up. Due for the experience of effort being rewarded and patience being vindicated and love being received in a form that actually fits you. You are not at the end of a long road of suffering. You are at the beginning of a long road of becoming. The distinction is not semantic. It is everything. There is a version of your life that is being built right now in the invisible realm where all things begin before they become visible. A life in which the qualities that have made your journey so complicated, your depth, your duality, your relentless curiosity, your emotional range, your refusal to be small, are not liabilities but are the very foundation of your joy. A life in which the relationships you inhabit are deep enough and real enough to hold all of you. A life in which the work you do with your mind and your gifts is seen and valued and sustains you. A life in which you have made peace with the person you are, fully and completely, without apology or performance or the exhausting maintenance of a persona. That life is not a fantasy. That life is a destination. And you are closer to it than you have ever been. This is the thing the universe has been holding back, waiting for exactly the right moment to say. You were chosen for a path that most people would find overwhelming. The sensitivity that has sometimes felt like a curse is actually a form of perception that allows you to access dimensions of experience, of beauty, of connection, of meaning, that most people live their entire lives without touching. The complexity that has made you hard to categorize, hard to pin down, hard to fully explain is actually the architecture of a soul that was built for more than a single story, a single role, a single expression. You are not too much. You have never been too much. You have simply been spending your abundance in places and with people who did not have the capacity to receive what you were offering. That is not an indictment of them. And it is certainly not a verdict on you. It is simply a recognition that abundance poured into spaces that cannot hold it is not abundance wasted, it is abundance in search of its rightful container. That container is being found. Or more accurately, it is being built. By you, through every choice you make to be more honest about who you are and what you need. By the universe, through every arrangement it is making behind the scenes that you cannot yet fully see but that is already, quietly, undeniably in motion. There is something that belongs to you that is on its way. Something, or someone, or a whole new version of how your life unfolds, that is moving toward you with the same inevitable, patient certainty with which the tide moves toward the shore. You do not have to chase it. You do not have to force it. You do not have to earn it through one more round of suffering or proving or diminishing yourself to make others comfortable. You simply have to be here. Be present. Be willing. Be as honest and courageous and open as you are capable of being in this moment and the next one and the one after that. That is all the universe requires of you. And in exchange, it is offering you this, a life that feels like it fits. A chapter that reads like it was written specifically for you. A stretch of time in which things that have been stuck begin to move, things that have been dark begin to brighten, and things that seemed permanently out of reach reveal themselves to have been closer than you ever imagined. You deserve to receive this. Say that to yourself, wherever you are right now. Out loud or in the quiet of your own mind, say it. I deserve to receive this. Not because you have been perfect. Not because you have never made mistakes or caused pain or chosen wrong or lost your way. But because deserving has never been conditional on perfection. Deserving is your birthright. It was given to you the moment you arrived in this world, complete and inherent and irrevocable. Everything that has happened since then has not increased or decreased it. It has remained constant, waiting for you to stop arguing against it long enough to accept it. Accept it now. Not tentatively, not with the 1,000 qualifications your mind is already lining up. Accept it the way you would accept water when you are truly thirsty. Completely. Without shame. Without the need to justify the wanting. You are thirsty, Gemini. You have been thirsty for a long time. And there is water coming. There is an abundance of it coming. And you are allowed to let it quench you. Before these words close, there is one more thing to say. A final piece of what has been held in waiting. The world needs what you carry. This is not motivational language. This is not a flattering statement designed to make you feel temporarily elevated. This is a recognition of something true and verifiable, the particular way your mind works, the particular way your heart perceives, the particular combination of intellect and intuition and creativity and emotional depth that is the specific signature of who you are. The world is genuinely better when that signature is being expressed. When you are living in alignment with who you actually are, when you are creating from that center, connecting from that center, showing up from that center, you create around yourself a field of possibility that others can enter and be changed by. You are not just here for your own life. You are here as a force in the lives of everyone your life touches. And the more fully you step into yourself, the more you shed the adaptive layers and return to your essential nature, the more powerfully that force operates. This is not a burden. It is an invitation. An invitation to take up the space you were designed to occupy. To stop making yourself smaller to fit into rooms that were not built for your actual dimensions. To find and create and inhabit the rooms that are the right size, and you will find them, because they exist, because they have always existed, and because you are now at the exact right point in your journey to be able to see them and step into them. The universe has been patient. It has been building toward this. It has been shaping you and arranging things and holding this message until the moment was exactly right. And now, standing exactly where you are, carrying everything you carry, having survived everything you have survived and learned everything you have learned and grown in every way you have grown, now is the moment. Your next chapter is not a maybe. It is not a hope. It is not a distant someday. It is a certainty that is moving toward you right now with all the momentum of everything that has been leading to it. All you have to do, all you have ever had to do, is be willing to receive it. So let these be the words you carry with you when you leave this space. You were prepared, not punished. You were shaped, not broken. You were silenced so that you could hear. You were still so that you could feel. You were alone so that you could finally, truly meet yourself. And now, having met yourself, you are ready to be met by what is coming. Lean toward it, Gemini. Lean toward the life that is reaching for you. Lean toward the version of yourself who trusts and dares and opens and receives. Lean toward the relationships that can hold your whole truth. Lean toward the work that carries your genuine signature. Lean toward every single thing that feels like home, because home is not a place you lost. Home is a place you are always in the process of building. And you have never been closer to it than you are right now. The universe has been waiting to tell you this. And now it has. And if something inside you recognized these words, if something in you felt moved or seen or confirmed or awakened, that recognition is itself the message. That is the universe speaking through your own response, reminding you that you already know everything you need to know. You are already everything you need to be. And what is coming is already on its way. Go meet it. If these words resonated with you, if something in this message landed somewhere deep, drop the words "I am ready" in the comments right now. Not as a performance, not as a social gesture, but as a declaration. A declaration to yourself, to the universe, and to everyone in this community who is standing at the same threshold, waiting for the same light to arrive. You are not alone in this. You have never been alone in this. Like this video if it found you at the right moment. Share it with the Gemini in your life who needs to hear this today. And if you want more messages from the universe delivered directly to you, subscribe to Spirit of the Stars, because there is much more waiting to be said. But most importantly, believe it. Believe in the chapter that is beginning. Believe in the version of yourself that is emerging. Believe in the life that is being built in the unseen spaces of your becoming. It is real. It is coming. And you, Gemini, extraordinary, complex, luminous Gemini, you deserve every moment of it.